I present to you what is probably the stupidest epoxy tabletop video on YouTube. But for real, I need a temporary table, but I need to be able to level the surface perfectly because I'm going to be having a laser cutter that sits on one end of it and a smaller laser cutter that I'm going to see if I can convert over into a plasma cutting CNC. Therefore, I need a flat surface. TEMU got a hold of me and offered to sponsor me with probably, I think it's like 7 or 8 of these kits. They're absolutely the most generic epoxy resins you have ever seen in your life. Here's another couple of them that I brought out knowing that I'm probably going to need more. These are all from TEMU. They all range from like $10 to $15 to, I think the smallest package I think was like $6. So, we've got some yogurt cups because this is my favorite type of yogurt. You can judge me all you want. That's what I eat at 2 a.m. in the morning. Just to show what an absolute lost cause this is, that's packing tape. That's Gorilla Tape covering holes that I've drilled in order to bolt engines down on this thing. This is the surface, and you can see all the bubbles coming up in it and out of it, and warpage, and everything. Is the packing tape going to hold the epoxy? I'm not really sure, but I knew the particle board edge was going to go and be an issue. So far, so good. That size there fit perfectly into the yogurt cup of doom. Now we gotta mix it all up. I'm sure I probably should be using something a little more aggressive than a couple of stir sticks. I think I'm going to probably find an old, really long screwdriver in just a second here. Here goes our first pour. I noticed it turned a little on the whitish side. I think it's actually eating the yogurt cup. But this side here is the side that I want to put the laser cutter on. And that did not go very far. I also would like to say that the YouTubers that manage to make epoxy pouring videos that actually show up well on camera have got to have some sort of specialty equipment that's better than mine, or some sort of light filtering or something. I've literally repositioned you guys, I don't know, probably 9 times at this point, trying to figure out a way to get you guys a view, and it just is what it is. I've got a high point there that I keep resurfacing over the top of, but luckily that's under about the center of the machine, so it shouldn't be a spot that matters level-wise. I've got a giant divot right in here that wants to eat all the epoxy, apparently. As I get into all these craters and stuff, I'm probably going to go through another round more than I think I should. Now, I'm trying not to actually run it all the way up to the tape. My goal is to just get it right to the edge of the surface of the table that's degraded. That way I can just run a router and a propane torch down the side of it later and clean it up, which is probably not the right way to do it, but it's how we're going to do it because this is beyond ghetto and stupid, and I'm only doing it because TEMU sent me all this stuff for free. Now that I have all the finger condoms I could ever want, I did figure out as a noob moment that if I stirred it at the same time as I was adding the hardener, it mixed up way, way quicker. I'm also kind of concerned because this, for some reason, seems to be kind of a bluish color instead of clear like all the others have been. So I guess we'll see whether we end up with a different color under where the plasma cutter may end up. But otherwise than that, let's grab this thing and head over here. As you can see, it's doing better. So we're going to get this one added in and go from there. We've got a couple of spots where there's some humps that are going to stick through. There's one right now in the center of the screen. There's another one over on the far side. And over here where the corner was the worst, I have filled that in, pulled epoxy over on top of it at least 4 times now. The fiberboard underneath is just eating the epoxy. So I think we saved this just in the nick of time. Oh, the entire top coating is Rust-Oleum paint on this, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. And the reason why it bubbled like this is because I exploded a transmission and transmission fluid across it, and the Rust-Oleum paint didn't like it. So, we'll see what this looks like in 24 hours. Well, I was about to do something at least cute, I thought, of placing the baby in the center of the table and have you guys see it was all hardened up. And it is right there. But over here where I was about to put the baby, yeah, that's still sticky. So, oh, that's still, I just ruined the top right there. So I don't know what's going on, but
I think it's the weather.
Yeah, if I sit, well, I'm running out of fingers to test with. So that's hard. So this section here is what I started doing. And honestly, I kind of got more and more lazy about mixing it as we got further that direction. So I'm wondering if I have sections that, yeah, because that spot there. So this was where the second bottle mix was. And that's hard. And this is where the last group was. And that's hard. But for some reason right in here, because I mixed a section right here, this is not quite hardening for some reason yet. So we're going to give it another 24 hours. And I'm going to really hope it hardens up because the big laser printer is going to go right about here.
It'll be stuck forever.
Yeah, agreed.
If it's not solidified, it'll be stuck forever.
Hi, we'll bring you back. Welcome to my perpetual screw up. So, anyways, I noticed that that area had not sealed up. The epoxy just did not go. So, I went through every used hardener container and I decided to mix it in with that surface and see if it would harden it up, which made it look like snot. And really, honestly, well, here, let me see if I can show you. It did kind of harden it, but not really. So, ignore the mess. Over on my second YouTube channel, RCG Racing, we had to get a mud mower ready to go and visit some friends in a matter of like 12 hours. So, things are a little discombobulated. So, I grabbed the last of the epoxy that I had. I threw it in here. And apparently I managed to make another screw up because I tipped this sideways and I whisked it up like you would if you were mixing up eggs with milk or whatever. And it is filled with bubbles. So I've screwed up a second time. But anyways, I'm going to glaze this out across that entire area. We're going to see if it'll seal it up. At this point, I've used up every bit of TEMU epoxy I have. So this is my last Hail Mary. Oh, nope, it stuck to it. That's too bad. I knew that chances are it wouldn't... Oh, wait. That came loose. Maybe that side just... Oh, nope. I had read on the internet there was a potential that cheap packing tape wouldn't bind to the epoxy. And it looks as if, for once, oh no, a little bit of mess up there. The internet wasn't quite wrong, it just wasn't quite right. Alright, we'll get the rest off. As is YouTube industry standard at this point, we must do the sticky baby test. As you can see, we have orange, OSHA approved baby, and no sticking. There you go.
Good boy.
So, we've got our work area. Is it ugly? Yes. Is it functional? Yes. Did TEMU sponsor one of the stupidest epoxy videos on the internet? Yes. But it let me learn that I really should have just bulk ordered a gallon of epoxy. That's what's on here, is 1 full gallon of epoxy. Also, I find it interesting, every single TEMU epoxy that they sent me was anywhere from 7 months to 9 months old. So I don't know whether TEMU is selling the stockpile of unsold before it goes too old, but just an interesting note. For those that are following John and his update in this area, we now have the white wall expanded, thanks to you guys and supporting the Amazon shopping list. And we have John, who does not know this is set up. He's going to come home and find it from school. This is my original table that I started YouTube on 13 years ago. So John's starting his YouTube channel, so he's going to work up with the same hunk of junk that I did. Otherwise than that, thanks to Jessie for being the camera woman today.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.